as we gradually inch closer to the much anticipated 2015 general elections in Nigeria, the largest democracy in the black race. Activities in the political landscape have been on the upward swing and indeed in a state of flux. BOS Political Desk has begun a nationwide excursion across the different states in the country to bring our teeming viewers up close and personal with key players in the various levels of governance and leadership from the different political parties. The mission of the BOS Political Desk in this 15-minute package, which we intend to broadcast weekly on all platforms that air the Bisi Olatila Show on AIT, NT International and Ben TV London, is to provide a veritable avenue for politicians of different shades of opinion to ventilate their views on how they intend or actually have been delivering democracy dividends, which is the hallmark of good governance to the people who in the first place give them the mandate to serve them. BOS Political Desk, led by its chief correspondent, Bisi Olatila, was in Sokoto State, the seat of the Caliphate, a very strategically important state with a rich antecedent in the political evolution of Nigeria. In our 4-day stay in Sokoto, the capital city of the state of the Caliphate, BOS Political Desk went round the city and some parts of the state to capture visuals of finished and ongoing projects in the different spheres of life: education, healthcare, agriculture, power, water, roads, housing, through which Governor Aliyu Wamako has been able to make the difference in the lives of Sokoto State people in the last 7.5 years, during which period he has held the mandate of leadership in trust for them. Born on the 1st of March 1953 at Wamako town in Wamako local government of Sokoto State, Governor Aliyu Wamako was trained as a teacher at the Sokoto State Teachers College, where he obtained his Grade 2 Teacher's Certificate in 1972. He obtained his first degree at the prestigious Pittsburgh University in the United States of America in 1980. Governor Aliyu Wamako taught Hausa language in the same university, and students who chose Hausa language as a second language benefited from this. Governor Wamako obtained a postgraduate degree from the Pittsburgh University in the United States in 1981. On return home, he opted to do his National Youth Service program at the Sokoto Teachers College, his alma mater. Wamako attended the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where he obtained a master's degree in local government studies. Governor Aliyu Wamako served as the chairman of Sokoto Local Government Council. He was elected a member of the 1988-89 Constituent Assembly. Governor Aliyu Wamako retired from the Sokoto State Civil Service, from where he contested to be Deputy Governor of Sokoto State and won on the ticket of the APP in the year 1999. The Wamako story, which can be aptly described as the success of a homegrown politician, can be likened to that of someone who has decided to give back to the society that gave him the head start in life. Governor Aliyu Wamako speaks on what motivated him into politics.
In my early childhood, during the days of NPC, as a private school chap, in my area, they made me the chairman of the children's wing of the NPC here in Sokoto Metropolitan, in Magakararada here in Sokoto. That's one. In my primary school, I ended up being head boy for a period of 2 years. In the college, I was prepared junior and also senior prepared. And every time they called me, that came along was when I was also in America. I was the treasurer and I just went to America, Pittsburgh chapter. I was also their vice president. So I was so involved in so many activities that made me to reach out to people of a diverse background and so on. So much so that when I came back here to home to serve, that exposure also made me continue to reach out to more people, interacting with more people, knowing more people, trying to understand them and work with them.
Any administration desirous of recording a quantum leap in the progress of its citizenry must accord priority to the issue of human capital development. And this is why education and capacity building is in the front burner in Governor Wamako's scale of preference. free education for both indigents and non-indigents of Sokoto State in primary and secondary school, in addition to tuition fees for indigents and substantial increments in scholarship rounds. The ultra-modern Sokoto State University is an eloquent testimony that the Wamako administration is determined to give Sokoto State 21st century digitally compliant citadel of academic excellence.
So educating my people becomes one of my utmost priority in terms of budgeting, also in terms of police execution and other areas of concern. So what's that? This tells me my background as teacher. You know, I told earlier I began as my career as a private school teacher. And when I was a teacher, always a teacher. I love teaching and I love education. And I knew what education I can do to any given society. Be it advanced or even development. So the area of education to me means a lot. When I look at education at that time when I came in, I look at it from three main angles. One, I look at students' welfare and interest. Two, I look at teachers' welfare and motivation packages and factors. Three, I look at school environment or learning environment with schools. I take all these three areas side by side, develop my education from nursery to primary, secondary, tertiary level.
In the scale of preference in the developmental stride of Sokoto State government under the watch of Governor Wamako, healthcare takes a special place. The orthopedic hospital in Wamako, Sokoto State, and the provision of free medical care to pregnant women and children under the age of 5 years, and the FREM care program, in which customized drugs and diagnostic services are provided free of charge in general hospitals and primary healthcare centers across Sokoto State, speaks volumes of Governor Wamako's good intention to create a wealthy and prosperous society in Sokoto State.
I begin by providing free healthcare services for all pregnant women and children under 5 in the state. I also took up myself to government to settle all the problem of people who was kidney problem or the dialysis requirement of all the people with kidney problem in the state. I also provide to support freely all the victims of accident in the state. In 8% of the state, we give them free medical care. I also imported or purchased 30 strong my Toyota buses, which are fully equipped as mobile healthcare vehicles that can move into all the rural communities, giving some basic information and services to the community in their rural areas. Right now, I have hundreds of students being trained locally and abroad to meet the manpower requirement of our state.
In the area of housing and urban renewal, it would be correct to call Governor Wamako the architect of cosmopolitan Sokoto. Sokoto State workers and indigents doing their private businesses are beneficiaries of the housing projects embarked upon in different parts of Sokoto State. The Columbine housing scheme is a case in point.
After food, the next mankind needs is shelter. That is something no one can dispute. When I came in, I tried to see how best I can do to impart on that area to the maximum, to the best of my maximum ability. And I said today, I have to the creator of this admission about 5,000 houses according to the state. Each local areas, I have about 30 houses that all the necessary basic services, local government officers, directors, bank managers, DPOs, all basic services are fully accommodated in a particular GRA area where they're able to relate with their community and work for them fairly.
In terms of road construction, Sokoto State seems to have set a new standards and raised the bar. What one is confronted with in Sokoto State that makes driving a most pleasurable experience are what is called the tripedalized roads. This is taking the conventional dualized roads a whole cut farther. Now the question to ask is how does Sokoto State government get the funds to execute all these projects?
I get my money from discipline and prudence. I get my money from good planning and focusing. And so let me just digress to tell you that this is my 43rd year in government. This is my 43rd year in this very government. So I can by no measure I can be called a stranger in governance. So from the one where I came in, I had to have a focus of where do I want to go, how do I want to get there, what do I need to get there. So I always try to make sure that any naira or kobo that come my way, I know where it is to be targeted. I want to be sure that it gets there.
Agriculture is the mainstay of Sokoto State people. To boost food security and production, a lot of strides have been achieved by the Wamako administration in this regard. The Sokoto State government has procured and distributed hundreds of metric tons of assorted fertilizer and grains with hundreds of millions of naira for the Sokoto State Strategic Grains Reserve Program. The College of Agriculture would know, which cost close to 1.5 billion naira, and the provision of regular counterpart funding and multilateral projects like IFAD, FADAMA 3, have all added to revolutionizing agriculture in Sokoto State today. Tractors have also been procured to enhance farming in the state.
So I made sure that I provided all the basic needs to empower our farmers, ranging from tractors, insecticide, improved seeds, and even loans. Last year to date, I gave loan to farmers worth over between 8 to 10 billion in the state. It's my effort to make sure that our farmers are empowered. We provided tractors, loans, soft loans, tractor hire units. We brought simple machineries for modern way of farming, like this tillers that can be driven by one person. We have so many other aspects of farming. Now we are training about 11,500 people across the state on poultry farm alone. 11,500. We have already passed the mark of 7,000. We are and more we train. We train them. We give them some few birds and their feed and some allowance to maintain them, and that they be encouraged to do. Now we are also doing the same on fish farming. We are also into livestock, where we are working at a farm for Argentina to provide modern livestock breeding so that we can produce enough milk and meat for citizenry and even to export to other parts of the country, even beyond the country.
In Sokoto State, water is life. In both the rural and urban centers, solar-powered boreholes have been installed to provide water across the state. The multi-billion naira water projects at the confluence of River Sokoto and River Rima in Azare Village, Wamako local government area, is envisaged to produce at full capacity 100 million gallons of water daily for the use of residents within Sokoto metropolis and its environs. Water pumps have also been installed in all the 23 local government areas of Sokoto State, especially for the rural dwellers. Perhaps the boldest move of the Wamako administration is the Independent Power Project, IPP, which is intended to redress the lingering crisis of power supply deficit. Upon completion by the United States of America-based firm Vulcan Capital Energy Management, Sokoto State will become the first Northwest state to have embarked on such a multi-billion naira project. The Sokoto State Independent Power Project will boost power supply in the state, which will in turn trigger rapid socio-economic growth of the state. We end this special interaction with Sokoto State #1 citizen, a teacher for excellence, and an astute administrator, Alhaji Aliyu Magakararada Wamako, with his passionate plea for peace and harmony among Sokoto State people and indeed Nigerians. We also thanked Sokoto State people for giving him the due support which has enabled him to succeed so far.
The special appeal to the people of Sokoto State is, one, to thank them for their support and prayers. One, to appeal to them to consider that the state belongs to all of us. Whether you are young, whether you are old. whether you are rural or you are urban, whether you are settler or you are born here. As the Igbo, I don't believe in one settler. So we must together work to ensure that this state remains peaceful and prosperous. We must respect the virtues of hard work. We must respect the virtues of mutual respect. We must continue to welcome this great state of the caliphate.